Hi friends, for this project we are going to be focusing on our warm and cool tones. So looking back at the beginning of the school year, we briefly touched base on our warm and cool tones. So our warm tones are red, yellow, and orange. So they're colors that when you think of them, it makes you feel all warm. So colors that you'd see in a desert, colors that remind you of the sun. And then we're gonna focus on our cool tones. So our cool tones would be blue, green, and violet. So colors that you think of almost during the winter season when you think of Antarctica or any cold places. You usually think of these cooler tones. So for this project, we are going to go over a watercolor technique. So you might want to ask for permission, of course, by your parents to use watercolor paint. But we are going to go over a wash technique. But if not, you can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, and any other art supplies you can find. All right, friends, so we are going to be creating a flower vase sitting on a stand. Now this is going to be more about the contrast between warm and cool tones. But for the first part, we are gonna start by drawing out our stand that our flower pot is on. So I'm gonna start by taking a ruler, but if you don't have a ruler, you can use a straight edge. I'm not measuring things that exact, so it might not look completely perfect, but it will still work. For this, I'm just going to draw a square shape. Now it is a little wonky, that's okay. It does not have to be perfect. However, you do want to bring your corners down, which is what I'm doing. So my vase is actually going to sit. Actually, I don't like how weird that corner is. We're gonna fix that corner because it does look pretty odd. I like the corner down to about. It's better. Not as odd looking. It's still not perfect, but that's okay. So then we're gonna add our vase. Now your vase, be creative with your shape. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. I am going to create an ellipse up here at the top, and I'm gonna let it come down. Yeah, I like that. And I'm gonna erase out my center. Bigger. Your vase doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but that gives me a basic vase shape that I'm happy with. So now I'm going to create some flowers that are coming out at the top. Now just because my vase opening is super small means that my flowers have to be this big. No, we can actually fan our flowers out. So I'm going to start by creating a poppy shape because those are some of my favorite flowers. For that, I'm actually going to outline it because that'll help when I'm erasing my pencil lines. At this point, all my flowers I think I'm going to do in the pen. I'm going to create some daisy-inspired flowers. Now notice I am going over that edge of my vase. That's fine. That's what we want. I'll draw another poppy. I'll come down and outline this part. Smidge, because I I am going to erase the inner line. And that's fine. So now I'm going to start adding in flowers. Now be creative with your flowers. They can be more abstract. They don't have to look exactly like flowers. Just be creative with it. All our flowers look the same. That's not very fun. You can make some big, you can make some small. They can overlap, underlap. The main thing is just to have fun with it. So I'm happy with how it's looking so far. I'm still gonna add a few to the top. Happy with that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and outline the rest of my image. And I'm still using my straight edge when I go over these lines just because I want them to stay straight. And sometimes it doesn't work out so well if you try to do it without a straight edge. Trust me, I know. I'm going to put that to the side. Now I am going to go ahead and erase my pencil lines real quick. So I'm just going to go over the base real quick, just erase those pencil lines. Then I'm going to erase onto the stands pencil. Okay, we're going to be working with warm and cool tones now. Definitely ask for permission, but I'm going to be using watercolors and I'm going to do a wash technique, which I'll explain that. But you can do this with crayons, markers, colored pencils. You don't need to use watercolors. So if you have them, I would ask for permission to go ahead and use them. So for the wash technique, I'm going to do my warm tones on the bottom and on the base, and then my cool tones will be the flowers. So for the wash technique, you want to take your brush and you want to go over your paper where you're going to be putting color down. Now you want to do this before you add the color, and I'm just going over quickly because as you're doing this, the water is drying. Now you want to try and stay in the lines, but it's okay if you don't. Now I am going to get my orange because orange is a warm tone. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in, but notice how it starts to spread. Now wherever there's water down, the orange will spread to it. And I like that wash looking style, so I'm not going to completely blend it out. And I can still pull some of it over here. I am gonna dip back in my orange and just do that again, but notice how it just spreads. This is a wash technique for watercolors. It's a fun technique, especially if you're doing a large area like this. So then for this part, my next warm tone that I'm going to use is going to be my red. So I am going to go over this whole area. Now I'm going to try to avoid getting my base as best as I can, but I might still get it a little. And I'm just gonna go ahead and lay the water down. You can still see some of my oranges picked up in it. so I'm just not wiping the brush well enough. And I'm going to dip into my red, and I'm going to do the same thing. You can see that red just spreading to the water and wherever there's water down. And do it up here. I'm just pulling my brush down. It's pretty nifty. So now that we've got our orange, red, we still have our yellow to do. So I am going to dab my brush and try and wipe it as best as I can. I'm gonna get back into my water and just start swirling it around my vase. And I am gonna dip into my yellow. You can see how it's already starting to spread. Now they do come out lighter when you do the wash technique, not as vibrant, but still that is a nice effect to have in watercoloring. So now for my flowers, I am going to be color blocking, which means I'm not going in and painting each detail finely down with my flowers. I'm going to have some sense of motion and rhythm by just color blocking. So see how I went ahead and just filled in some of the areas. I'm putting the green down and it's just filling. That's the effect we want. I'm gonna do that over here as well with my blue. And these are all of our cool tones. So blue, green, violet. Those are our cool tones. Now if you can see it is bleeding down, that's because we have the wash down and it's still wet, so it will pick up other pigments. But you can still do this with marker, colored pencil, crayon. But if you have the opportunity to use watercolors, definitely ask for permission and I will try it. But there we have it. That's our wash technique painting.